Mr. Matheson, I recognize you next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment at the desk.
The amendment will be accepted. The amendment will be considered as read, and the gentleman's recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm offering an amendment in order to help or address issues related to small business refiners. Small refiners are found in 22 states in this country, including those owned by farm cooperatives. There's a high concentration of small business refiners in the interior West. They're essential to fuel supply in that area, and there are very few alternative suppliers, if any. Governors from Wyoming, South Dakota, and New Mexico support assistance for these refiners. Other members of Congress have also written to the committee in support of action. Small refiners are in a different position than large refiners. And this is, by the way, small refiners are defined in federal government. A small business definer is an entity that refines less than 205,000 barrels a day. They're in a different position and have more exposure than large refiners, just because larger companies have international facilities and greater scales of economy. So what this amendment does is it tries to address that issue for small business refiners by providing 1% of allowances from the unallocated pool to help these refiners. It's targeted assistance. It would phase out in 2025. This amendment tries to balance transitional assistance with expectations of transitioning to a low-carbon economy. And, Mr. Chairman, I would now yield to you.
I thank you very much for yielding
Chairman?
to me. Yes.
If I could, the gentleman would yield.
Well, gentleman, yield to me, and then I'm sure he'd be
Okay.
happy to yield
Thank
to you
you.
next, since he does have time available. I understand what the gentleman is attempting to do, and I'm very sympathetic to that. I want to work with the gentleman and others on the committee who have an interest in this matter and prepare a possible amendment on the House floor to address this concern.
Okay, I appreciate that. Mr. Green, do you still want me to yield here?
Well, Mr. Chairman, first I would say I'd accept his amendment, but I understand. Our 2% was negotiated, included both large refiners and small refiners. In fact, we have refiners who have small refineries that would fit under what we would consider a small refinery, but put together they would be pretty large. But I appreciate the chairman's support for trying to address this issue and hopefully increase it to a percentage higher on the House floor. And I just want to thank you for your work, and again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your work with us.
No, I really appreciate it, Mr. Chairman, and look forward to working with us as the bill moves forward.
The gentleman withdraws his amendment.
I'll withdraw the amendment, and I'll yield back.
And yields back the balance of his time.